That you're here, those of you that are here, and as the people come in, of course, feel free to get water and coffee and keep your cup full. But welcome to the Rightsizing, time for Rightsizing. And I also want to start here with Casey, because she's going to welcome you from Francis Tuttle and all that come available.
Good morning. My name is Casey Craig, and I'm with Francis Tuttle. And I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you guys for being here today. If you haven't been on our campus, I hope you get a chance and an opportunity to drive around and see how beautiful it is. I think several people commented that the signs and the parking has helped. I think we want to welcome you here. Your ad valorem taxes pay for this beautiful facility, and we are proud to have it here and to be part of the community. And we're proud that you guys are here today to share in all of this education also. Thank you for being here, and please come up.
A great venue, right? And I also want to start off by take your time before. Some of you, I saw you walking around and visiting. And I'm so glad our wonderful, fabulous sponsors, we appreciate them, of course, and giving of their time, giving of their funds, and supporting our educational endeavors. That's so important. And they come from attorney to home health to real estate to everything. So there's a wide variety over here for you. So I hope you're going to take advantage of visiting with them, because that special individual touch is always nice to have. So I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I have a problem with Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, right? And it's gone already from the stores. It's gone already, and we have what? Christmas. It's like we just go from Halloween to Christmas, and here's wonderful Thanksgiving, right? So I'm just like, oh man. And so we are here. We have some articles over here. We have Thanksgiving theme, fall theme for you over here about relieving stress. So take those articles about, one of them is about taking a breath, and the other one talks about the different things. It's an article from Silver Sneakers. I'm sure some of you are familiar with them. And it's a great article. So we love to offer you all kinds of sources of education. And in front of you, this is what you have in front of you. I just kind of want to go through it real quick with you. This is our outline of what I'm speaking about. Downsizing made easy, 5 steps to a successful move, simplifying your life. Then you have a notepad for during our sponsors conversation, Q&A, and all that good stuff. You can jot down questions let us go through the questions, and we'll open it up for Q&A after we go through the questions. So if we don't cover what you wanted to kind of learn about, we will do the questions. So anyway, that's provided for you. And then we really definitely appreciate you filling out the evaluation form for us. This helps us know what you would like to see happen in the future. There's a line there. What's the topic you would like to learn about or hear about? So, and we also want to know how we're doing. I'm sure you saw us kind of weird. This is our third little program, and we're just still learning the venue and getting you in. Some of you called ahead and you still didn't get through, and we didn't have your name tags, and we apologize for that. We just apologize for our inefficiency, and we will get better. That's what we want to try to do, is always get better. So if you would please fill this out for us and leave that with Terry. Terry, turn around and wave at Terry. She's at the back of the room. She's part of my team. You can leave them with Terry or Francis, which is right here at the front for us. And then we're kind of giving you a preview of what's going to be our topics through June. And we will incorporate some of these people. We're incorporating what others have told us that they wanted to hear about. So we still have a half a year to fill. So we really respect and want to hear what you have to say. So we're just going to start in here about myself. I was caregiver for my mother and my dad and my mother-in-law. My mother was in the last stages of terminal cancer, and my mother-in-law came from North Carolina to visit on New Year's, had a stroke the next day, and never went back. And so we had to go back to North Carolina and clear out 2 homes. She had 2 little homes, and was not prepared at all. And it was very stressful for that adult child or adult family member, whoever's going to be taking care of things for you. My parents had everything lined out. When they passed, we just went in and ordered flowers. And that's a special gift that we will talk about throughout our conversations. But just wanted you to know, I've been there, done that, where I felt like I was out on this island and thought, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, and that's an awful feeling. And I think through my education and my becoming a certified senior housing professional, what I learned is that there is a process that makes it easier. And that's what we want to share with you today. So here's our outline. This is what we're going to start with. We're going to try to quickly cover creating a plan, communicating with family and friends, and everybody said, oh, that's going to be a fun one. Then surrounding yourself with the professionals, qualified professionals that can help you through the process from start to finish. And then 4, we're going to spend the most time on, what do I do with my stuff, right? My possessions, what do I do with all my stuff? And we're going to at that point, we'll bring our panelists down and we'll do our questions and we'll go over these questions with them, and then we'll open it up for you. And you're going to enjoy our panel. They are all experts in their field and want to be there for you every step of the way. So, but remember that moving is a process. Moving is a process, and it takes, you realize, oh my goodness, somewhere in the midst of going through my stuff, finding a place to live, choosing what I'm going to take, what I'm not going to take, deciding what I'm going to do, what I'm going to leave, you think, oh my word, downsizing or right-sizing is hard, right? It's awful. It's overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. And so we're going to keep in the front of our minds that being proactive, you are ahead of the game. And all of you that are here, I would call proactive people. Your choices are, there's a variety of places to go, move to, do, when you are proactive. You get to interview, you get to decide who's going to do this and that. If it's reactive, oh my word, it's a shuffle and you might not get to go and end up where you would like to go. And we want to provide you getting to go where you want to go, where you're excited about starting that new phase of living. So the first thing is, of course, creating a plan that fits your lifestyle and your future needs. There are 3 things that usually prompt us to consider the right sizing. If you don't come to a seminar like this, being interested in the right sizing. And number 1, it's social engagement. I have someone here today that came to an open house, and we met and we talked and we discussed things, and she told me that her husband was ill, and I sent her a card and we had a great conversation. She calls me, the husband passed, and she's like, I need to get out. I need to get out and run. So her shift is social, right? She wants to move on, to be engaged. So social is so important. Our friendships, getting out, going to church, going on Walmart runs, whatever we do, go to the movie, whatever that is. So social engagement is very important. The other thing is, of course, our health and wellness. Health and wellness. So you say, okay, I'm by myself now, or it's just you and your husband, all the kids are gone, and it's how do I cook for two? How do I cook for one? And so we're empty nesters or whatever situation we're in, and so we think, I'm just going to eat cereal. Or I'm just going to run up and get, what do you call it? Fast food. So our nutrition is affected. So some of your choices is moving into a community where that's taking care of you, right? Taking care of for you. It's provided. So that's awesome. That's an awesome thing. So our health changes. And it's something where we think, well, I would rather make my move on my terms rather than falling, breaking the hip. I can't go on. I can't provide for myself. I can't get into the kitchen. I can't get up and do this or that. So it's that type of process. Now the third thing is the house becomes a burden. We're getting ready to head into winter, right? Can you believe the big freeze that happened last time was in October, right? Our last big freeze that happened was in October. Well, we made it through October. But that spring, I helped a lot of people because the tree branches, all of that fell on their lines, fell on their houses, they had damage. They had to pay for someone to come and trim up the trees or cut it down, haul it off, all of that. And it becomes, this 3,500 square foot home becomes a burden, becomes stressful. So you're scurrying around and you're putting pressure on yourself to take care of that when you can downsize into 1,500 square feet or 900 square feet or wherever you're moving into, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, because you're only using what? 3 rooms anyway. You go to your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom. And you've got all these guest rooms and your kids live right here in Oklahoma City, so no one's coming to see you, right? So here you go, and you have all that pressure. So those are what instigated. So these steps are, there's a process. And what type of lifestyle? These are the questions we want to ask ourselves on making our plan. What kind of lifestyle and or want of how my future is going to look? Okay, what type of lifestyle do I need or want? Location. I want to be near my church. I want to be near the Healthy Living Center. Because I go there and I do the swimming things and they're wonderful, saltwater pool. I want to be near, the location matters a lot. So there's a lot of different things on that where you want to do this while it's best to make these decisions while you are able to evaluate, go and visit, go and look, go and educate yourself, so that someone else isn't making that decision for you. So it truly, step one, making a plan, starts that active search and looking into what's available to me. What do I want to do? Do I want to just downsize, but I still want home ownership? I want to move into a patio home that has an HOA, that takes care of the exterior, takes care of the mowing. But I take care of everything. They don't provide meals and they don't provide someone coming in and cleaning for you because you own your home. But they have potluck. It's a very social group. They have a clubhouse, they have a pool, or they have things like that that you can come and meet the people that live there in your community. They have a patio home, condos, whatever the situation may be. So that's a choice. And you're going to make that move knowing these questions about what type of lifestyle, financial, what is my financial? Can I move first and then set up my estate sale and move and all that, and then move? Meet with your financial advisor. There comes in those professionals that can help us with our move. And then what is necessary to prepare for a future move, which that's what we're going to talk about today, right? What do I need to do to prepare for this move so that it'll go more smoothly? And you might say, okay, I want to stay right where I am. I want to stay put. That's fine too. That's a plan. That's a plan A. Lots of people want that. What can you bring in? We have panels over here, people that can come to your home and help you and move forward so that you can stay in place. But that's always our plan A. We always need a what? A plan B. A plan B. You may only have 2 steps going from your garage into your house, and you've done it for years, and then boom, you miss the step, you fall, you break your hip, and they say, okay, you can't go back home. You gotta go to rehab, you gotta go to all these different things, and so if you don't mend properly, you're gonna need more assistance. And so that's also always have a plan B. This is where I'd like to go. And so, now we're going to talk about, I'm just hitting these because we're going to really talk about what to do with our stuff. All right, the right sizing part of it. So this one is, I'm just going to go over these because we are going to have a session where the professionals, the people that have the different communities that are available to you, they are going to teach you about the differences of the different levels that are on their property. But I just want to go over this with you real quick of what's out there. So many people think I'm going from my home to the nursing home. You are good. I'm going from here to the nursing home. There are so many more options now. So many more options. So let's look at these. We have independent senior living communities. We have assisted senior living communities. We have memory care communities. Sometimes these are part of these complexes, and sometimes they're standalone. Iris Memory Care is standalone. They have all these different levels, and so if you want to go, if you you've kept them at home as long as you can, and you're looking specifically for memory care, there are quality, wonderful communities that can help you with that. And then, of course, the long-term care community. There is a place for that. There is a place for, we've changed from nursing home or home to long-term care. It's a little, off the tongue, a little better, and it just sounds better. We're moving to a community. A continuing care retirement community. We have that available to you. That means they're going to keep you, once you purchase that buy-in, you are going to be taken care and promised for the rest of your life. They have all of those different communities on location for you, and they're going to talk about that. Planned adult communities, that's becoming very popular, and we talked about that a little bit. And then the condos, townhomes, garden homes, patio homes. We've talked about that. That's where Terry and I, of course, can help you the most. There's lots of communities that are available now that you to go into lease only, or you can own it. You can own it. So there's just an array of different opportunities that are out there for you. And we would love to take you on tours of these different communities. Or you can make an appointment with any of these people and say, I'd like to come and tour your, no obligation. They would just love to entertain you. We have here today, we have Touchmark here today, and we have Bellagio, Bradford Village here today, which is they're right here in Edmond. So you would, if you're in the Edmond area, you're still around your familiar settings. So we'd love for you to just visit with them. Step 2, woo-hoo. Okay? Communicating your your family or the people in your life. Not all families communicate well. I know this is a surprise to you. Not all families communicate well. And you know, it's kind of a hard, we feel like it's a hard conversation, but we have provided examples for you of a little letter to form that you can form and put together your desires to share with your family. But we have found, research has found that things that if we make these choices, if we make prior arrangements, if we are proactive, it's even less stressful for whoever's going to help you. Maybe a sibling. I don't always want to say adult children because not all of us have children. So it may not be that. It may be a sister that's going to help with your things, that's going to help you with make this move. So, but it is simpler and less stressful if you take the time to be proactive. So we can provide for you a guide. Some people want to move relatively fast that we meet with. Some people, they call me in 2 years. And I say, I had at the very end of the picture that you're going to see today, Judy. I talked to her several times, different times, all these different years, and she wanted to sell a house. She just got it, I said, sure. So we found where she wanted to move. She moved, and we sold her house, and everything was great. So we don't pressure you. We just get in contact with you. We love you. We want to take care of you. But it's just a smooth transaction that takes place. It helps with the whole transaction as well. So, moving on to our families. Moves go much more smoothly and are less stressful, I think I told you, if the client informs their family of their desires. So often, adult children think they know, and the parents think they know what they want. When we interview the child says this, and we tell the senior adult, we say, well, this is what they think they heard you say. They're wrong. They're wrong. That's not my wish. So they weren't communicating. They just thought they knew because of their lifestyle, how they were brought up. This is what my parents are going to want, right? So they don't always know that. So it's very important that you communicate and that you're communicating your wishing to them. You're not asking for opinions or permission. You don't need to ask permission. It's not about establishing expectations. It is about establishing expectations, pardon me. It is about sharing with them, about this is where I see it going. This is what I would like to have happen. Okay, so here's an example too of share, create, and inform. Share your preferred living arrangements, professional service providers. For example, there's a line in there that has a realtor. That happens to be what I am, but you have choices there. But contacting and letting them know, Connie has been working with me with this. She knows what my desires are. I've talked to her too. So you're leaving that information for them. And that, they're going to appreciate that. Even if it's your attorney. If you have nobody but your attorney representing you, and this is what you want, and they're going to make sure that that happens. But it gives them, who do I contact when this happens? Who do I contact? Who do I reach out to take care of this? And a little dialogue. Honey, I went to this seminar about rightsizing. And Dad and I are thinking about, we're really making progress to downsizing because we're tired of being your storage unit. And your corsage from prom that's on the bulletin board in your room, you either come and get it, or it won't be here by this date. Okay? So we're coming up on the holidays, and so a great thing is to have a family meeting. Have a family meeting, because that family meeting is to express your wishes, say we're thinking about doing this, I went to a seminar, this is what we're going to be working on. We'll let you know what we decide. I'll let you know what we decide. So it's really a great thing that you can either do for your family in a conversation to have while you're all together. I'm just going to read over that. Create, I saw you all taking notes, which is great. Create or written a document that outlines what your wishes said. I think I said that. And then inform them. Let them know what, if any, support you need from them. That's coming and getting your bulletin board if you want it. That's coming and getting your yearbooks if you want them. That kind of thing. So, there you go. There's our example. I think that's provided for you. Now, surrounding yourself with the professional. This is so important. I'm missing. There we go. Step 3, surrounding yourself with the professionals. This is so important. Where do I start? What do I do? Who do I call? The key is to surround yourself with professionals that have been vetted in this process. This is nothing new to them. And they have worked and they have a process of helping you. As a certified housing professional, our desire is to surround you with vetted people that I have worked with, and it's a proven system. I have families that I've worked with. Sometimes the children are very involved, or a friend is very involved, and sometimes it's just working with the senior. But we're there to help you and relieve that stress. These estate liquidators, the attorneys, the financial advisors, the health service people, they want to be there to help you have what you desire, what you want to do. Knowing that your service providers are familiar with this type of move can be very comforting and reassuring to you. Let us be the project manager. Let us be the hub of the wheel and bring these people to you, so you don't have to go online and Google. How many of you like to Google and find things out? Okay, I think that's wonderful. But can it be overwhelming? Does that tell you about those people individually? You need to meet with them, right? To find out if you, we just worked with a senior that said, I researched you before our meeting. I was like, was it good? I was like, is it good? Yes, it was good. So I'm sorry. Good deal. All right. So you definitely want to surround yourself with those individuals. Everybody needs support when making a move, no matter what their age is. Unless you're Shannon and Michelle, that are going to be on our panel, that are organizers and declutterers, unless you are, and you have that type of personality, if you walked in my office, you would say, Connie, you need to call Michelle or Shannon. Amen to that, Francis and Terry? You're fired. No, just kidding. So, there's nothing wrong with surrounding yourself with those professionals that can help you with the process. This step is about making sure you have the support that you need from start to finish. There's an example also provided for you about all the different people that it includes in a transaction, in a move. All the people that are involved in that for you is part of that letter. Okie dokie. Oh my word. Yikes, right? Everybody go, okay, this is what we came for. What do I do with my possessions is a nice way to say it. How do we always say it, right? My stuff. What do I do with my stuff? You know, it's very emotional, isn't it? It's very emotional. It's one of the biggest challenges that you'll have getting ready for your move. And that you're starting it early and you're not rushed to make those choices is wonderful. Yes. Is wonderful. Okay, so while the panelists are coming up to join us, I'm going to just say, when someone has lived in a home for 30 or 40 years, I think you probably have more than one mixer, plenty of you have a set of 24 or 12 for China, and it's just you and your husband. So when I'm moving, should I just take maybe 6 and sell the other? We're going to start about that. But you have every drawer, every closet, everywhere, every attic. Do you even want to go to the attic? Please don't get under it. But anyway, so there is stuff everywhere, right? There's stuff everywhere. So, you know, everyone needs support when making that move, no matter what. What are we going to do? Necessities, furniture, toiletries, eating utensils, family heirlooms, jewelry, dishes, furnishings, sentimental items. Those are the those are the tough ones. But these ladies are going to even tell you how to let go of some of those things and a great proven process of doing that. Hugging them and then letting them go. Disposables, charitable donations, trash, valuables. All those different things because of the high emotion that comes with sorting through these things. Let's turn to our fabulous expert panel, right? Turn the mics on, girls. And I just want to say, Tia works with her husband. I just noticed there's all female here. Their company is jointly owned, but they all had something to do. So we're just going to go down, and I'm going to first let them introduce themselves to you, and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and why you're here.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm Shannon Caldwell. I own the Penance Place organizing business that I started about 2.5 years ago when I decided my kids were old enough and left the house and left me to, figure things out on my own. I needed something to do. And my husband was tired of me changing everything in my home. So he thought I needed to do this for other people and make a business out of it. So I have, and organizing for me is just, it fills my soul. It is a really wonderful experience to watch something go from being a burden for somebody to a space that they are thrilled with and are much more comfortable in. And just to be able to help people in that way is really wonderful for me.
My name is Tia Dunlap, and I live out in Southwest Oklahoma. I live in Oak City. But I own a company, my husband and I own a company called Caring Transitions. We actually own 3 territories, which is about 60% of the state of Oklahoma. We specialize in senior relocations, senior downsizing, and liquidations. We do liquidations through in-person estate sales. We also do online sales. We sell on our own platform, which is called CT Bids. We work very professionally to make sure that your loved ones or your things are handled with dignity and respect, and we work very diligently to make sure that we get what those items are worth. So sometimes that gets a little bit skewed. My things are worth a whole bunch, but sometimes that's not the case. So we will talk about some of that. But thank you guys for having me today.
Hello everyone, my name is Shelley Chappell and I'm the owner of Clutter Free. And in April will be a 10-year old company. And we provide the following services. So I have a team of 13 and we do cleaning, organization, downsizing, local and long distance moving, packing, unpacking, estate sales, and property cleanup and haul off.
Michelle Wittenberg, Organize It with Michelle, and I have an organizing service that is uniquely designed for each client to establish function in their home by creating balance for what you need, what you love, and can functionally fit in your space. I do not only just downsizing, but also packing and unpacking in your old or new home. And I work side by side with you, removing the overwhelming feelings about the process. My focus is on right-sizing your items for your next space while identifying essential items without losing sentimental value.
So you see why I invited these people? Aren't they great? Aren't they great? Yay! We're going to learn a lot today. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to let all of it, and you don't have to, you can use that mic down there too. That's the directory. Did I also tell you I was a drama and speech teacher first? So I taught in public schools first, and that's why I'm loving what I'm doing now. I love to teach. I love to learn. Myself, I love to learn. I learn something every time we do this. Based on your experience, what are some of the challenges or obstacles people face when getting rid of their stuff? Let's start with you.
The emotional connection is the biggest obstacle, I think, and also the sheer amount of things that you've accumulated over the years, especially if you're still in the same home that you've raised your family in. And not everybody has the thought process of being able to take it bite at a time and clear it out as you go. It's overwhelming. So I think being overwhelmed is a very large obstacle as well.
Yeah.
So I agree with her that the emotional attachment is very difficult. Also, I feel like one of the factors that is very hard to overcome is not wanting to disappoint family members. You know, they don't want to give away pieces of furniture or items that maybe the kids are going to want. And sometimes in reality, as you all know, we're all becoming more minimalist. And you know, I have a child that she has 8 white plates, 8 white bowls, and that's what she uses. She doesn't care to have the china, and she doesn't care to have all those things. And so I think disappointment is a very hard factor to look at, as well as what we said, the emotional attachment.
I think that just kind of everything that they've already said is so important, but I think just being overwhelmed with the amount or the project, it seems like it's all sitting on your shoulders, and how can I get this done? And in your mind, you're wanting it to be done now, but there is a process, and I think that's where when you have people on this panel, Connie, that are supporting you, and like, I love project management. That's one of my strengths. And when you have someone that can be a coach, a cheerleader in your corner that can say, that meets with you and says, hey, tell me, what are you going through right now? What are you feeling about your stuff? And then helping you to make a game plan for those obstacles that you're facing to be able to handle those. And one thing we found that has been very well received is whenever you have someone like us on your team, Connie on your team, when it comes to your children and things that you need them to come get, but it seems like they never come and get it. They come to get dinner, they come to get their laundry done, but they just don't seem to get their stuff. When you can say, hey, I'm working with Connie, hey, I'm working with Michelle, and she has given me a set date that you need to come and get your stuff, you're not having to be the bad person. You know, you can put it on the shoulders
Pass
of your
the buck.
team. Yes.
Right? You can just pass the buck and use our names.
We are creatures of habit. So you've never been in this phase of life before. This is new to you. So that's an obstacle. You've never had to experience this phase of life before. It's hard when we're in a different phase of life. And the item that in your home has already served its purpose. It's hard when we spent good money on an item, but no longer use it, even though it's still usable. It's hard when we meant to use an item that we spent money on and never did. But it's also hard when someone special gave it to us, but we have no purpose or time for it in our current phase of life.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is, what I really liked from that was to listen. It's okay for you to express if you're angry, if you're upset about, I'm upset with my kids, they won't come get this, or this is really hard for me. Go ahead and express it. Be sure to express things to these people as you're working with us, because we've got big shoulders, right? I like that. I really like that. Okay, so Michelle, can some clutter have value, or is it all just clutter and trash?
Yes, some clutter has value, but more importantly, most clutter is usable and not all is trash. You've heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure,
Yes.
of course. But the key is, it's trash in your home if you can't use it at this phase of life. That's the difference. It's not a trash as far as, it doesn't need to go to the landfill. Donating is a great way to get things out of your home, but to bless another family.
That's awesome. Okay, Shannon, tell me, what do you see most frequently that is considered clutter? Through social media, through social, what is considered clutter?
Just too much of anything that you don't have a specific home for in your home is clutter. If you don't have a specific place for your mail and you have mail piled up all over your home, that's clutter. You need to create zones and live within the space that you have, and if you are overflowing in that space, you probably need to have somebody come in and help you downsize that clutter, donate it if there is the value in it, or give it to your family and friends that want it, so that you might still feel like it's being used the way you want it to be used, but it's not taking up that space that you desperately need for the things you really use in your home.
Yeah, that's awesome, because so true. All right, so let's move on to, I'll come back to the other question for you guys. Let's go down. Is there a downside to getting rid of things or decluttering? Shelley?
For me, no, there's no downside. I am excited about it, but I think the downside would be the emotional feeling that you have, even though you know that you're going to move forward in your life by downsizing, right-sizing, and you're going to move maybe into a smaller space than you have currently. I think people underestimate the emotional journey that you will go on, because you will feel a sense of that you're losing space, you're losing things, even though you know you'll be gaining more by letting things go and having more social opportunities if you choose to go that route. But I think that in downsizing, I truly believe less is more, but I do know that there are some what they call maximalists that can have a lot of things in their home, and it can be done very well, but if it's crowded and it's overflowing, I think that when you do downsizing, there will be such a relief of stress that comes off of you, because you are making those pivotal decisions to let things that have been bothering you, to let them go.
Okay, so Tia, I'm gonna just phrase the same question, but from a different angle. If they're gun-ho to get ready for an estate sale, they're gun-ho, they don't have a problem, is there a downsize to getting rid of clutter?
You know, I think that answer is yes, in ways that we see people that are very, very hesitant to start the process. So when we talk about downsizing, we talk about, decluttering, and it's very hard to start that process. But then when you start it, it's like, oh, this feels good. And, you'll go through, let's say, the pantry, and you're like, oh, I'm moving into assisted living, I'm not gonna need a can of soup. I'm not gonna need my ironing board again. I'm not gonna need this, I'm not gonna need that. Those things truly are, it's very important to sit down and truly work with professionals and say, okay, now let's be realistic. You are moving into assisted living, or maybe independent living that offers the meals, but there might be a night that you just don't feel well, and you want to have a can of soup in your room, or in your own apartment. Just like, we've had clients that said, well, I'm moving into independent living and I'm never going to eat in my own apartment, I don't need any of my dishes. Well, we encourage you to take a couple.
Sure.
Because maybe your daughter comes by and you guys have picked up something and you just want to put it out on a plate. We don't want you, we're telling you that you don't want to take 24 settings, place settings, but yet we're not saying you shouldn't take anything. So yes, I think there is. I think there's too much.
Well, and those
downsizing.
things can sell.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
They say, oh, well, I'm just gonna get rid of, these extra shampoos that goes in my guest room. I'm gonna get rid of blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's not trash, that's not clutter.
That is absolutely not clutter. And this is, I tell people, and I share often, I come from a rancher's family. There have been times that we were thankful and we had ribeyes on the table, and there was times that we were very thankful to have canned beans. That's just our ranching nature. So if we can make $1 or $2 out of something, we're going to do that. I all the time take Ziploc bags, and we might put 5 or 6 or 8 to 10 items in it, and we'll bundle that item, and that item might bring $12 or $15. Well, if we do that 10 or 12 times, that's quite a bit of money.
Right.
So
your goal, all of our goal is for you to be paid more.
absolutely. I always say,
You list a house, we want you to get as
Right.
much as you can for the home.
well, and we also, if we can help supplement the income that's maybe going to pay for the fees of the downsizing, the decluttering, or pay for the services that you're having to have help with, then we definitely want to do so.
Right. Awesome. Okay, what are some of the benefits? What are some of the benefits to moving first to your new home, your new community, when preparing for an estate sale? Yes. Go ahead,
Well, we've had one like that, haven't we?
Yes.
So, a lot of times we hear people they'll come in and say, well, I don't want to leave my home until it's ready to sell, or, I don't want to leave it until I know it's time to sell. And I'll tell you, can we work around that? Absolutely we can.
Sure.
We will make that happen. However, the stress that comes with that is sometimes a little bit more than really what some of our clients are bargaining for. So if the means isn't a problem, and you can make that step to go ahead and move into your next phase, whether that be a garden home or whatever the base, the next step is for you, then we encourage that, because as you're watching the process, as we're liquidating those things, as we're working through the online sales, as we're working through the in-person estate sale, as we're working through the donation's always hard. That's always hard. Until we talk about what it is benefiting, who it's benefiting and how it's benefiting, then it becomes a lot easier. But then the disposal, there's always going to be some trash. I could probably, as I work in these homes and I go home and I will clean out a cabinet faster than, I might be dead tired, but I'm like, oh my goodness, that looks awful, I'm cleaning this out. But still yet today, I could probably fill in the dumpster at my own home, So there is always trash. There's always going to be some disposal, and that's always hard. It's always hard because you think, should we get rid of that? Should we not? But back to the original question, you know, should you move out? If the means are available, absolutely, just because of the emotional connection.
And I will just speak to even showing the home, you have to, if you're there, you have to leave while they come in and show, so it's kind of stressful that way too. Does it happen? Yes, we have houses that are listed and then they stay there and they leave, you know, but it's hard for you. So if at all possible, that works well for that too. And I'm going to say, I think another plus to moving first is that gives you time to work with, let's say, Michelle. And go ahead and pick up the mic, Michelle. She's going to say, okay, this stays, this, you tell us your process if they're going to prepare to move so that they can put their house on the market.
Absolutely. And I actually have two clients that were polar opposite. One was about 75 years old and she wanted to stay in her home when the estate sale happened. And for her, she got to see everyone buying the items and she felt good about that process. It was still hard, but she felt good. But the polar opposite was a family of four that stayed in their home and they had a completely different experience. And it was really hard for them because they were trying to live their daily life with an estate sale coming into their home when their home was empty. But at night, it just didn't feel like home anymore. So kind of two polar opposites. It really depends on the person. But yes, if you can plan ahead and have an organizer help you through the process of what stays, what goes, what gets packed, what gets donated, you're the one making the decision on it. Your organizer's not. She's guiding you through the process, but you get to make the decision, not your children, not your family, not your siblings. It's you that gets to make the decision. And the first example that I had of a 75-year-old moved into a new place. She had downsized from a 5-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. And she kept all of her original furniture. And to her, it felt like home. You know, there's other people that will sell everything and then start all brand new, which is fine.
Have stuff delivered.
Have stuff delivered, yeah, but it's a totally different place for them when they sell everything. It doesn't, you know, it still may feel a little like home, but it's just not the same.
Okay, and Shannon, tell us a little bit about the benefits of decluttering as far as people experience like the short or long-term positive thing that happens from it.
Well, I think the benefit of decluttering, long-term, you know, we help you put into place a system. We talk to you and are getting to know you and how you live and what we feel might work for you, or based on your experience, what you know has not worked for you. We can put a system in place that's easy for you to maintain. And I think that the benefit of that is you've seen how great and comfortable and organized your home can look and how well you live in it. That if everything has a place, you don't want to go back to being overloaded with the clutter. That system is masterful for you in being able to live with it as long as you can. That's the benefit of it.
Yeah, I think in that feeling of, no matter if you just do the primary room closet, your closet, and you go through your clothes, try them on, this doesn't fit, goes in this pile. If you just do that closet, what a great feeling, right? And you take it and donate it and you give to people. Okay, great. So Shelley, how do you determine if you and a potential client are a good fit? And what specifically are the factors that you're weighing when you're making a decision of whether to accept the sale or if it's an estate sale or not?
Yes, thank you for that question. I think making sure that when I come in, my goal, and any of the ladies up here goal, is to understand your personality and understand your wants and desires and then adapt to that. So I think being a very adaptable person, sometimes we'll have clients who want to move at a slower pace, and then we'll have clients who are like, I'm ready, I'm a quick decision maker, and I'm ready to get this show on the road. And we can adapt to that as well. So I think as first understanding what is your personality, what speed do you want to go at, and then adapting ourselves and our teams to assist you in that. Because there's, you never want to have the feeling that, you know, you're being run over or that you're being pressed to do something and you have limitations maybe in your health. And we want to know all of those things up front so that we can accommodate and support you the best way. And then when we're getting ready to evaluate for an estate sale within my company, we want to make sure that you have enough for it to be beneficial for us to come out and do the estate sale. Anytime I do an estate sale, just in labor alone is anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 plus. So I have to know that we're going to make enough profit for it to be beneficial for us to do that. Now, what we have done a lot of times is if you are looking to my company to pack you, move you, unpack you, but you don't have enough for an estate sale, I will probably go ahead and do it anyway because you've done other services with me. But I think the main goal is to always, you're in the driver's seat and you're our boss. And we are accommodating and adapting to your personality and your needs for a successful downsizing or right-sizing experience.
That's great. I think that it's important too to what I picked up on that. Again, you want to work with someone that's going to listen to you, right? Because these are your things, this is your home. So it's important that we listen to your goals. And is it going to be a fast move? Is it going to be slow? So if someone's interested, Michelle, how do you, assuming that they're going to work with you, what are your charges? How do you charge? What do you do?
So if you are interested in just seeing, you know, how this could work, I can come out and do a free assessment, walk through your home and kind of see what you have going on. But if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you just want tips to do it on your own, that would be a consultation, which would be about an hour, and I can walk through your home and provide you solutions for $75 for the hour. I can go beyond that and do a written plan. That's certainly an option too, where I get really, really detailed in your lifestyle and your space and provide that written plan. That would be above and beyond that $75. But then also, if you want hands-on, I actually have a rate per hour. I don't do per project because every project is so different, and I do the same. We work at your pace and no one else's. So I charge $65 an hour. But for seniors that are 65 plus, it's at $60 an hour. So you get a little bit of a discounted rate.
Isn't it great to be a senior?
Yeah.
Isn't it great to be a senior? Okay, awesome. All right. And Terry and Francis, if you guys could kind of pass out some of their information that's up here too, so that you have that with you guys. So let's go to Tia on how are items priced and what items sell the best and what is the biggest shocker that does not sell that they think is worth $1 million. What did you say?
Exactly. You're exactly right. China. So glassware, china, kitchenwares, just as we mentioned previously, the kids, my kids, your grandkids, generation, they don't want glassware. They eat off of paper plates. They have, again, 8 white plates. They don't have value of having 10 or 12 different sets of glassware, china, dinnerware. So I can't tell you a consultation that I've been in that somebody doesn't say, well, mom had, or mom has, or I have, this set, that set. And used to, when I first started this, I'd be like, oh, it's so pretty, and now I go, oh. You know, and I always say, very upfront, listen, if we can sell it, we're gonna sell it. And if we can make it bring value, we're gonna make it bring value. Now, are there certain pieces, absolutely, of glassware that can bring some money? There really is. But I would say
And
that
both you and Shelley, I believe, y'all specifically, because you do estate sales, you also have, people that are looking for certain things. You have what do you call that list?
a
A
preferred
client
list,
list.
yeah.
They have a client list sometimes that you promote to something special, because that is a specialty.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you one of the things that I specialize in is I do online sales, again, as I mentioned, CT bids. Now, our bids start at $1, and when I go to say that, people look at me and go, oh my goodness, you're gonna start my $1,500, piece of jewelry for $1, but I can tell you that it brings what it should. Because our company, and we are a franchise, which makes it a little bit different, but we have an email list of over 1 million people that, let's just say, we are going to put on a Noritake blue wave or something. If anybody's ever searched for that in our database, in what we call our CRM, then when that sale goes live, because of the tag words that we've used, they're going to get an email about that china that is going for sale on my site, okay? So we have specialized buyers in that. But I think that, the value of things is very important. I don't know about you guys, but if you have somebody walk into your sale and they say, well, this is nothing but a glorified garage sale, and I say, whoa, we don't use the G word here, that's ridiculous. Because let me tell you why. If we were having a garage sale, we'd set tables up and we'd put 2, 4, 6, maybe 50 cents a piece on these. I have a team of people. I have a team of 35 people that work for me.
And you guys, I know you and Shelley, they touch everything in the home. Every cabinet is empty. Every drawer is empty. They display, so that it is like it is a high class.
Absolutely. And listen, when I say that, we touch everything, everything's clean. Because if you guys are like me, and most people I would say are, I don't want to put a $20 garage sale item in the back of my clean car, or, we want it to be, I always say that we have a Dillard's experience versus a Walmart experience. Yes. Very key in ours. But now I'll tell you, Thursday night, just this last Thursday, I was sitting in the floor of a home doing, prepping for an estate sale, and I was sorting plastic straws. Now, and I'm telling you, 3 a.m. sorting plastic straws, because we were color coordinating some plasticware, and I thought, I've lost my mind. But, I priced those party sets together for $15 a piece, and we ended up with about 25 of those, and every one of them sold, So at 3 a.m. when I thought I was really losing it, sorting straws was okay. There's an art. There's a true art to what we do. It's not, I don't know how many times you've been in a home and your family will say to me, well, I can sell this stuff myself. You know what? I know you can. I bet you can. But the way we sell it is totally different. Now, one thing that, she asked is, how do we determine a price? If I could walk into a home and tell you how much money you had in that home and what it was going to bring, I wouldn't be sitting here. I would be a very rich woman because I could walk in and offer and sell those things. But we do our research. Research is very, very key. And just like you said, your labor, we know what it's going to take. I know what it's going to take, but I also know this, is I know that because of the research we're doing, we're going to bring more money than what it would be if you're putting it out just for the $2, $4, $6, So we might have a bulb that brings $80, $100, $200, and it could have been sold for $3 or $4.
Yeah, unless you're like my things to put in a garage sale to talk to people. So, you know, remember the little hanging, the crochet around the hangers with the little clips that you could hang your delicates on? I still have it. My grandmother, but she would make those so that she could do a garage sales with us.
Absolutely.
But let me say this, Shelley, it's the major process of putting it up. Once they start putting the things in the house, going through the things in the house, why is it important that they not remove or take from that component?
Well, first of all, in my company, what we do is we'll put some things online before this estate sale happens. Because if I put some things online, they're gonna sell at a higher value than when people come to the estate sale probably. And I may sell to $5,000 worth of stuff before then. But we have an expectation of what we're going to be able to sell. And then if you come through and you start, you know, picking different things, that's taking money out of the sale and out of our expectation of what is gonna be happening. So in our contract, we have like a deadline. Here's a deadline of when everything that you want or everything that your family wants has to be out of the home by this certain date, so that we know there's no confusion that everything else that remains in the home is to be sold. And sometimes when we talked about earlier, when you're wanting to stay in the home while the estate sale happens, one of the things that does happen is confusion of what is staying and what is being sold. And if you have some of your stuff mixed in with the things that are being sold, we can make it to where it's well identified that this is not in the sale, but it does cause a little bit of confusion when you do it that way.
Exactly.
And they're going through for error.
Yes, that's
Yes.
right, that's true. Shannon, where can people take things that are not considered trash that they want to go to your home? When you, like if you're doing at a house and I say, Shannon, just take care of that for me, because I cannot do it. What are some avenues available
Well,
for
there's always, you know, the Goodwill, the Habitat for Humanity, you know, the Salvation Army, places like that. Sometimes though, the local schools might be looking for, especially if it's clothing items or shoes or bags and things like that, for some of the students that just need some of those things. They have closets at these schools, and so some of those types of items are wonderful to go there to the school closets. You know, books, if you have a lot of books, I don't know how well they sell. My daughter has a library of her own, but books, the Oklahoma City Public Library, the downtown location, will accept some books. Not all libraries will. So there's a lot of avenues and places that you can have things donated
Exactly.
when they're still useful.
And I think that's very nice, right? I think that's very nice to donate, as a drama teacher, costumes. You know, and things, you may have things from your parents, let's say, you know, vintage stuff. Now that, you can really, there's kind of a decision there. You can make a lot of money with vintage things right now. Bean bag, I used to have one, remember, the bean bag chair or whatever? I had, at an estate sale, a bean bag went for great money because it's kind of retro, right? So you never know. And remember the beans we used to have hanging in our doorways? Or your kids did? It's coming back. It's really kind of fun. So, anyway, let's open it up to, is there anything that major that we didn't cover that you'd like to cover? Yes, please. Share with us what you do with heartfelt things.
Oh, sentimental items?
Sentimental items. And I have a story to tell.
So sentimental items are the hardest, of course, because everything has an emotional attachment to it, but sentimental items are obviously the most precious to us. I call those treasures. And I guess my best advice is for each family member to have 1 or 2 totes, and that's it. So if you're functioning with it, then that's fine. If you're displaying it as decor, then that's okay. But if it's not one of those 2 things, and it doesn't fit in 1 or 2 of your memory totes, it has to go. And that's where you really choose your favorites. And I love antiques. I have a ton of my grand and grandpa's things, but I function with them. You know, their dining room table, their sewing machine I use at my front entry to put my purse on. Even their old rotary telephone I have, because I love antiques, is sitting on my little telephone table. So, you know, if you're using it as function, it's okay. If you're using it as decor, it's okay. But 1 to 2 memory totes is hard for people, but it's per family member. But that's where you really dive deep into what's really important to me and sentimental. And maybe there's things that you have that are sentimental that you can give to someone else. You know, instead of donating it, it's giving it to someone else.
And I would say, that, and then we'll go back to the question you want to answer. I would say, if you take the time to tell the story behind something to your children, they'll come near closer to taking it. For example, my aunt and uncle, and we'll come back to it. My aunt and uncle were downsizing into a community. And they were just so upset. I was selling their home. And they were so upset because their granddaughters didn't want anything. And this was family. This was my family too. So I said, okay, we're going to meet at your grandma and grandpa's, and we're going to meet. And I told my aunt, I said, bring all your jewelry out and different things that you're wanting to go to them. And we're going to talk about it. So they came, and I said, okay, girls, I want you to look at these things and ask your grandma what is behind it. You don't have to take it, just ask for stories for these different things. There was a little necklace with a little chipped diamond, right, in it. And so Carmen says, well, Grandma, what is that? That's the first diamond your grandma gave me. And I put it in this, you know. So, all of a sudden, Carmen goes, I think I'll take that. She wears it all the time. Camber, well, what's this? What's this jade that you have? Well, that was our first time to go to Israel. I purchased it, you know, Israel. Oh, that ring. Oh, okay. So all of a sudden, when they heard the story, it became sentimental to them, right? She had all these brooches. Remember brooches wearing on our lapels? They stuck in a diagonal diamond shape, all the different brooches. It's in a frame on the wall. Okay? All right, real quickly, and then we're going to go to your questions.
I think you had talked about how do you determine a good fit with a professional?
Yes.
Trust. You have to be able to trust the person that's coming into your home. And that's why vetted professionals are so important, is because the trust has been established, but you also have to feel comfortable, because not every organizer is a good fit with every client, not every estate sale, so it's who you trust the most.
I just want to add one thing about the sentimental items, the treasures, those memory pieces that you have collected over all of the years that are hard to let go of, or even give them to your family and friends because they've been in your home or part of your life and your memories for so many years. But when the time comes for that, start preparing by taking photographs of them. Being used in your home, where they were in your home, with the holidays coming up. If you set your dining room table beautifully for your family to come, take photographs of that using the dishware and the glassware and the silverware and all of those things. There are wonderful sites that you can upload those photos and create a hardbound, beautiful book, multiple sizes, different kind of finishes, whether they're linen covers or hardbound covers, but you can also add the stories to those items. Where they came from, who you received them from. You can add things in your own handwriting, or maybe you got something that a grandmother or great-grandmother had
Great
written.
idea.
And it's all in one beautiful book. It won't be lost, and you can use it as a coffee table book. So it's always out, something you can always flip through and thoroughly enjoy, and you're never losing those memories that way. But it allows you to keep them while letting somebody else love them.
Enjoy it. Right. That's exactly right. I had someone that I went to the craft show thing at Fin and Feather, right, at like Tin Killer, and they had the china cups on the plate, on a bird deal, so you have the water and the feed. In there, is it landscaping creativity? You can do that, and then you're getting that Christmas, number one, you have a Christmas gift for your kids to put in their yards. That's a memory. I thought that was so cool.
I will say on that one thing, I had a client just recently that collected knitting baskets, and she was really having a hard time getting rid of those, and we discussed, handing those down. So she actually picked one. She had 4 granddaughters. She picked one for each grandchild, and I encouraged her to write a letter with that to say when she bought that, when maybe it was gifted to her, and she's getting that as Christmas this year.
Awesome.
We sold the rest of those baskets. I think there was 7,400, maybe, no, I'm just kidding. There was close to 100 baskets.
Exactly.
But, she picked the top 4, and she picked colors that she thought the granddaughters would like, and she picked things that, and it took us a couple of hours. It did, and we went through those, and then she wrote those letters, but I'm anxious to see what the granddaughters,
Yes. What they think.
yeah,
Isn't
they're
that
excited
cool?
about it.
And tell them if they ask you what you want for Christmas. Organizer, yes, organizer, that'd be great. Or time. Moving in a dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Take me to a dinner.
Yeah.
Moving in a dinner. So that you're not adding more stuff into your house, but you're adding to a memory. Okay, questions? Karen? Well, garages are your big sellers, right?
And
Shelters?
you have a tool, like tool and, fishing, sports, estate sale, and then out on sale, or would you just do it all? I mean, that's what's overwhelming, I, the garage, I have no idea where all those tools are.
Yeah.
I
Tools
know
sell,
some.
tools sell extremely well, and that is a good bringer to estate sales. We would do the wholesale, home, garage, fishing tools, because you're gonna get more traffic that way. And we just recently, a general contractor, had a house over on Billin Avenue, and he actually had his workshop in the house, which was so cool, and it was probably about 900 square feet, and I'm talking welding machines, lathe, machines, saws, all kinds of things, and we were able to sell everything and completely liquidate that. And we found the right buyers for those items. It took extra effort on our part because some of them were very specialty and some cost a lot of money to even in resale. But yes, we would just do the whole house together.
I've had this friend say, oh, well, I like that table saw, what I like that, the scroll saw, but I like your all's idea of deadline, kind of get it, because you can't get the garage with that. You want it, kind of get it, I'm not opposed to giving stuff to people. I found on the.
I have an answer for that, for two things, okay? Number one, if you don't need to supplement your lifestyle for the rest of your life, right, okay? You know, they have, what we've done in the past is, they put a price, they price everything in your husband's garage, all the saws, everything, and you can have friends and family, what we call a pre-sale, and they can come. But if you need those funds, if the son, if you want to give it away, that's totally your call. But they will provide once they get it all set up, a pre-sale for your friends and family to come.
And one thing that can get confusing for you is you will start having all of these people, I want this, I want this.
Contact you.
But if you're able to say, I have a contract with an estate sale company, and here are the dates of the estate sale, and we're gonna have a special, like we do Thursday night from 5 to 7, where we invite our client list and any friends or family, and they get first pick, but everything's still full price. That takes the burden off of you and the emotional drain that these people asking for everything. And there might be select people that you do want to give something to, but if you can say, I have a company that's taking care of this, you'll need to work with them, that will relieve a lot of stress from my experience that I've worked with other people. How about you?
Absolutely, the same, we have the same areas, we can do special sales and we can list, if there's certain people we want to give things to, but we always want to, make sure that we are making you aware of what we call an admin or an admin, because, they think, well, she's gonna give all this stuff away, well, my kid might use this, or my cousin might use this, or I might take this down to the flea market next Saturday and make $30, and I hate to say that, but sometimes that does happen, people, they wanna hoard that together, So we always encourage that instead of you having to deal with people coming by to get it, and people coming to look through this, and people, wanting to scavenge through this, it's just like, she said, just, hey, we're working with a company, and we're in contract, we really can't let anything go out the door, but we will have a special sale, and you guys will be recognized, whether we're gonna sell it, or whether we're gonna take any money or not, but it just eliminates stress for you.
Does someone else have a question? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question, but just a comment. I just was gonna say that,
Hi, oh my goodness.
I know, it's just so worth it. I'm not moving, but just to declutter, to hire one of these ladies, because it's huge. I mean, Michelle helped me, but it's just, and just to see how they live, also, to get a tour and to see, anyway, it's just so worth it for peace of mind. I didn't hear anybody talk about peace of mind, but for the peace of heart and mind to get rid of things, it's invaluable. So, and I have a meeting I have to go to, but thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Yes, thank you. Did someone over here have a hand raised? Yes, ma'am.
Mine's a little different than yours. I moved up from the city in '98. I was a late bloomer, graduated from college in '98. Out from Hobart. Anyway, I moved up here in '98, but I lived in an apartment for 5 years. Then I bought a house, making $5.35 an hour. And I got in a house and a mortgage, and I live in a double wide. Well, I moved in, left your left dumpsters full of boxes and stuff, and never got finished moving in. Then I've had 4 water damages in 21 years. And now my friends want me to teach them and throw everything out.
Also, her mother died and somebody else died and she's got mom. That's a very
Well, my mom
Right.
died.
Right.
And, I got a few things, my sister got a few things, my brothers. But
reason you can't say just that?
Well, I told them that they think that, oh, that I got a lot of clutter. Well, yeah, I got 53 boxes from Servpro that they brought to my house from my last water unit. And I've had those, because the warehouse, where the boxes were, are for the new carpet, or,
You know, that
What you have to do is establish your goals.
maybe we should like come to your home and meet with you specifically. Our consultations are free. Our con-
last lady that came, she wanted $25 an hour to clean, and she was there 2 hours.
Right.
That
Well,
was about
we would just come for the first time just to touch base with you to see, that would totally be a free consult.
I'm sorry, I've had trust issues with those ladies.
Sure.
If I don't know you well enough, I can't trust you. And so when they would take things to the trash, I'd say, well, let me see what you're taking to the trash. Now, I know that sounds really bad.
No.
I didn't know, I want to know, so I should trust them. I was a law enforcement, I mean, I'm not scared of nothing, but I don't want my stuff to go out. Sure, the trash.
Right.
And my old boyfriend did, he done everything, I said, clean that closet. He cleaned it, he took everything out and put it there in the dumpster. My legs, my
So-
dining room table was out the dumpster. Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, my suggestion, Linda, is to talk to one of us separately. And, no. And we need to come and sit down with you and work with you. Just give you a free consult of maybe how to create the goal.
Yeah, because I went to the state sale, my mother, we had to sell a house over.
Yeah.
And my niece is from what we sold at the garage sale.
Yes.
Well, and even like Michelle said, even a detailed plan, maybe you're not ready to work for it, right, maybe you're not ready to jump in and do this 100%.
Yeah.
You know, but a detailed plan, a step by step. Yeah, step by step of this,
So-
you know, how you can mark it off.
Yes, I want to thank you guys. Please fill out the eval on the very last, I had a couple of more slides, but we're going to forego those. It's talking about celebrate, what you do, celebrate, okay? That's our goal for you to do when you make that decision. But I want you to have plenty of time to, it's not even working. So we talked too long, right?
Is that what the thing was?
Yeah, so anyway, but I want you to be able to mingle and get some information and talk to these ladies separately. But please fill out the eval for us. We really appreciate that. We appreciate you coming today. I hope you learned something. Please put that down. If you have suggestions, please let us know. We are so excited that you're here, and we're just going to kind of disband. Mark on there if you'd like for us to communicate with you next time. Next month really is for everybody, and get it to your friends also to come. It's going to be on scans, and that is totally something we all need to learn about. How to deal with phone calls, how to deal with the people coming to our door, how to deal with all those things, our emails, things like that. So it's a really great session next month too. Okay? All righty, thank you.